Hare Krishna everyone. On behalf of ISKCON Sydney and Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, I would like to welcome everyone for this evening discussion on devotee care. And as you know that His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj has been tested positive for COVID-19. So we will dedicate today's class for the fast recovery of Maharajji. So I would request everyone that please pray for Maharajji's good health. So before we start our discussion, we will sing a Jai Radha Madhava for the pleasure of their lordships. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Govinda Gopala Murli Manohar Nandalala Govinda Gopala Murli Manohar Nandalala Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Gopal Jaya Jaya Shri Radhe Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Radhe Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Radhe Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Radhe Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gopinath Gopinath Shri Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadrama Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय, जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, जय गौर निताय की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. So Hare Krishna. Today we are discussing about devotee care. So His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj is saying about devotee care. He is saying that ISKCON need to be a caring organization that provides a family atmosphere based on love and trust. Just as Srila Prabhupada instructed. So nowadays the idea of devotee care has come into limelight as it is one of the essential important aspect of ISKCON movement. And devotee are simply put forth is to take personal care of devotees, and that the culture of service, love and care permits all the activities. One of our vision statement of the devotee care system is to we need to give lifelong personal care to the devotees for them to make continuous progress in the spiritual life. So the key word in this statement is lifelong personal care to the devotees. So the care need to be given lifelong. And the second word is make the continued progress in the spiritual life. So the care should be given in such a way, in such a mood that the devotee is able to progress in spiritual life. So there is always feeling of warmth that we get the personal attention given to us. So whatever care given to us, we should transfer it to the others. And by caring for them, helping in their struggles and challenges in both the devotional as well as the maintenance activities. This help has to be rendered with long-term perspective. Srila Prabhupada, we can take the example that Srila Prabhupada established the worldwide Krishna consciousness movement and is running successfully in spite of his physical absence. So this is the real success of any system. This similar changes this similar challenge was given to Parikshit Maharaj. He showed us the real way of devotee care. And this is revealed by Shamika Rishi in his question about Parikshit Maharaj in Canto 1, Chapter 4. That the Shamik Rishi is saying why he has given up his body, which was the shelter for everyone. So he said, Shivaya lokasya bhavaya bhutaye yavuttama shloka parayana janaha jivanti narmarthamaso parashrayam mumucha nirvedam kuto kalebaram. So he says, Shivaya lokasya bhavaya bhutaye. So those who are devoted, the cause of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, live only for the welfare, development and happiness of others. They do not live for any selfish interest. So even though the Emperor Parikshit was free from all attachment to worldly possessions, how could he give up his material body, which was the shelter for others? So the real devotee care is possible when we live only for the welfare, development and happiness for others. This is the true hallmark of a devotee. So here Parikshit Maharaj gave the step-by-step solution of all the suffering entities. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. So this is the long term love and care, not only for the devotees but all the living entities that Parikshit Maharaj gave. So Srila Prabhupada says beautifully in the purport that at the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam it is said that even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can obtain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we can learn an important lesson from the example of Parikshit Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada and many of his sincere followers, that the devotee care can truly become successful when internalize the concept of love, affection, care, and not to do with any ulterior motive. So first we'll understand what is devotee care is about. So we should facilitate the devotee in every possible respect so that they feel secured and thus evolve firmly in Krishna consciousness. And then the community is the shadow of its leaders. Whatever they give the emphasis to become the model of a devotee, strive to achieve a formula. The analogy here is given that although the foundation of a building cannot be seen, but it holds the entire building. But without a strong foundation, in times even the most glorious place will crumble. So these are the we are developing the foundation is like that. So we know that the word devotee means the bhakta of the Lord Krishna. So we follow all the etiquettes and has devoted themselves to the Supreme Personality of Godhead wholeheartedly. So surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna is not easy. As Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavanamam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlava. So here said he is sudurlava. So after many births and death, who is actually knowledge, surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So the Lord Krishna is saying that it is a very rare for the conditioned soul to surrender unto me. And in Chaitanya Charitamrut, it is also stated. It says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So Brahmanda Brahmite Kona, according to our own karmas, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are elevated to the higher planetary system and some of them are going down to the lower planetary system. So out of millions wandering living entities, one who is fortunate enough to get the opportunity of to get the associate of bona fide spiritual master by the mercy of the Lord or Krishna. So by the mercy of the Krishna and by the grace mercy of spiritual master, such person receive the seed of creeper of devotional service. So we should understand. So we are caring, we are doing this devotee care, and we are caring for those devotees as very great soul. So we know the importance of the devotees. So one of the Bhakti Vinod Thakur Bhajan, he mentions the benefits of serving the devotees in devotional path. He said, Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajanahanu Kula Bhakta Seva Paramasiddhi Premalati Karamula. So he said, Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu, the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee, and three things are important to cultivate our devotional creeper. Which are they? The lotus feet of the pure devotee, the enthusiastic devotional service, And service to the pure devotee is bhakta seva, parama siddhi, premalati karam. That is the greatest, the highest order of the root of the creeper of our devotion. So while serving the devotees, we must keep our mood very humble and serve them very sincerely and without pride. And we know the greatest scientist, Galileo, what he said. We cannot teach any people anything. We can only help them to discover within themselves. And as Lord Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham ridhi sannivishto mata smrutir jnanam apohanam cha. So I am seated in everyone's heart. From me, mata means, smruti means remembrance. Then jnana, then knowledge, and forgetfulness comes. So now we will discuss about the word care. Is the activity of the providing treatment, maintaining and attending to someone by amplifying responsibility. So devotee care in a sense means Vaishnava Seva, which is very sacred principle of Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. To serve a Vaishnava means to serve his body, mind and soul. So the following Varnashramas identifies system that we have to identify what is the need, what is the nature of the individual person, and according to that we have to provide the guidance and consoling accordingly, and then engaging. We have to engage them. Not only we have to take the care, we have to guide them and engage them in the devotional service of the Lord. And the purpose of devotee care system is to build the caring devotee community. But in this age of Kali, it is not possible to live harmoniously together. The word Kali comes from the word Kalaha. Now everyone knows. Means quarrel and hypocrisy. So, in this age, the community to stay together is very hard because this age is infected by the lower mode of ignorance, and and which is very difficult to understand and communicate harmoniously. So, in Kali Yuga, this word community has interested connotation, as there is in Hindi. We know that come means less, so unity means so when we say community, that come unity means less unity, so that is that. And another word you can take, that compassion means compassion means less passion, and that becomes compassion. So compassion is possible when there is a less passion. When there is too much passion, then there is selfishness. And so you cannot compassionate if your heart is full of material desire. So you have to be open-hearted. We have to be compassionate. All our things should come out from our heart. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Atmendriya priti vancha tare bale kama, Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare prema nama. So the desire to gratify one's own senses is kama, the lust. But the desire to please the senses to the Lord Krishna is prema. So now you can see the difference. So we have to serve devotees genuinely without selfish motive, but we have to purify our senses first. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved indriya grahyam indriya seven mukhehi jivhado swayam eva spurati yada. So, therefore, the material senses cannot appreciate the Krishna's holy name, form, qualities, pastimes. And when the conditioned soul is awakened to the Krishna consciousness, the render service is by his tongue, chant the holy name of the Lord and taste the remnants of the Lord's foods. When the tongue is purified, then one gradually comes to the understand who Krishna really is. So here Srila Prabhupada has given a very nice analogy. So you can imagine there is a lake, so you can that there is a lake. The water is standstill. It's absolutely standstill. And then now you take two pebbles, right? Sorry, you take one small pebble and you throw into the center of the lake. What you find? The when the pebble actually strike uh, the water, what happens? The concentric circle expanding from the point where the pebbles struck to the water. So these circles actually expand, and it goes until the end of the lake. So now you take another experiment, or imagine that you take two pebbles and throw simultaneously on the in the water. Now here, what you see? Now what? Two concentric circles expands, and they finally clash each other. So in the first case, there is no such clash between, because there was only one center. But in the second case, because there were two centers and there is a desire, therefore, when there is a desire of improvement and its center, you center of existence. You that I have my center of existence. Then we all have our own selfish, narrow goals to achieve the our desire. But when our all the desire, or everyone's desire is this, if the Krishna, if we keep Krishna is in the center, then that circles just keep building and building. And if you see, if you hit the because if we hit the pebbles on the same point again and again, what is happen from the same center, it just expands and become rigid, and you can see the big and the thick circle on the water. So in other words, instead of keeping ourselves as in the center of our existence, if we keep Krishna in the center of our existence, desire can be expand unlimitedly. So in this devotee care, we reinforce each other's effort and desire and aspiration, because we all have the same call to serve Krishna, to please Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, and to please Srila Prabhupada. So the fundamental point in building any community to have the common interest and a common point where everyone is committed, everyone buys into the same idea. So devotee care is the essence, means Vaishnava Seva, which is very sacred principle of Gaudiya Vaishnavism tradition. To serve Vaishnava means to serve his body, mind and soul. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what is Vaishnava and Vaishnavism? So he says, Jivedaya, Namaruchi and Vaishnava Seva. So Vaishnava Seva is the one of the Vaishnava etiquettes, or the quality of Vaishnava. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Amita Vaishnava ye buddhi hata ile amanina haba ami. If I think that I am a Vaishnava, then I will never stop expecting honor from others, and I will never become void of the desire for honor. I will serve devotees. So he said, Tava nija jana prasada seviya uchchista rakhi beya amara bhajana prema anande prati dinaha betaha. So whatever remnants of your devotee leave behind after honoring your prasad, I will eat every day with great joy. Then it came Jivadaya. Now you can give the benefit to all Jiva souls by using everything for the service of the Lord. When we offer everything in the service of the Lord, then everybody gets benefited. That is called devotion. And the householder life, so if we do so that everyone get benefit from it. दैन्य दिया अने मन प्रतिष्ठा वर्जन चारि गुण गुणी हई करह कीर्तन. So it says the humility, compassion, honoring others and giving up the prestige become qualified with these four qualities and chant the holy name, and that is and then our devotional creeper will grow and grow and grow. And then comes the Namaruchi. Always chant the holy name of the Lord. Who can chant the holy name of the Lord? So Lord's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, कि शयने कि भोजने कि बजागरने अहर्निशा चिंता कृष्णा बलह वदने. So whatever you are sleeping, eating, resting, always chant the name of Krishna. In this way, you can increase our spiritual life, like your spiritual bank balance. Jive Daya Namarupchi and Vaishnava Seva is our only religion or duty of our Vaishnavism. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Naham Vipro Nachanara Pratir, Naham Vaisho Nashidro, Naham Varani Nachagriha Pratir, Na Vanastho Yatirva, Kintu Prodhayan Nikhila Paramananda Purnamruta Dher Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayor Dasa Dasanudasa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not even Vaishya or even Shudra. I am not a Brahmachari or householder or even Vanaprastha or Sannyasi. I identify myself only as the servant of your lotus feet of Krishna, the maintainer of gopis. So here Gopi Bhartu means the maintainer of Gopi. He is the like of the ocean of nectar. He is the cause of universal transcendental bliss. He is always existing with brilliance. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the coming to the level and interacting in the proper way with the different types of devotee is the is the Kanishta Adhikari, then Madhyam Adhikari and Uttam Adhikaris. So His Holiness Bhanuswami Maharaj is saying that Vaishnava Seva is the secret for advancing a devotional service. So the interaction of a devotee is very important and help us advance beyond that and the progress in our bhakti. So these are very essential points, all based on the Sangha. So to protect our devotional creeper, let it grow, devotee association is very important. The foundation definition of bhakti is cultivating a relationship with Krishna, which means with affection. So that where and our sadhana bhakti is. If we just engage the senses, but we don't try to cultivate the relationship with Krishna favorably with affection, then our bhakti or the bhakti creeper will not grow. How it will grow? By doing Vaishnava Seva. So when Krishna left Vrindavan, Krishna left Vrindavan to go to Mathura with Akrura. Then I think he was around 10 years and 7 months. And on the way, when he reached there, he saw one washerman. And he asked, because that washerman was washing the clothes of Kamsa. So Lord Krishna requested him to give me some clothes. But he refused. And he was saying something bad words. Then Krishna killed him. Then further he saw one the garland maker or the florist who was making the garland for Kamsa. Then Lord Krishna approached and asked for him. Then he happily gave it to Lord Krishna. And then looking at his bhakti and pure heart, Lord Krishna said, "Oh, please ask me any benediction for you. But that I think that florist or that garland makers, his name was also Sudama, not Sudama as the Krishna's friend Sudama. He's different Sudama. So Lord Krishna asked, you can ask any benediction, but he said, I don't want anything. But still he said, okay, if you want to give me. He asked three benediction. He said, Achalam Bhakti, means unwavering devotional service to your lotus feet. Then Tata Bhakteshu Surudham, means very friendly and loving relationship to your devotees. And then he said, Bhakteshu cha Dayaparam, the spirit of genuine compassion towards all living entity. So he asked these three. What he says, like unwavering devotional to to your lotus feet. Then he very friendly, loving relationship with your devotees and the compassion towards all living entity. So that is our aim of this devotee care is. So the purpose of devotee care is to systematically propagate the spiritual knowledge to the society at large and educate the people in the technique of spiritual life in order to check, to cultivate their spiritual knowledge, to bring the member of the society together, each nearer to Krishna. That is the thing. And then to encourage our Sankirtan mode, the congregational chanting, name of the Lord, and engage them in the service of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. So Srila Prabhupada says, if you take the spiritual care, the bodily care is automatically done. So these are the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, that everything is practical. If we follow Bhagavad Gita from all angles of vision, social, political, economical, religious and culture, you will be perfect. This is the Bhagavad Gita. We are therefore taken up to the mission to preach Bhagavad Gita as it is, to solve all the problems of the world. So Srila Prabhupada is also saying, under the spiritual care, the neophyte devotee have questions that how they can do chanting, perform their deity worship at home, how they can cook the sattvic food and offer it to the Lord, how they can change their current life to become Krishna consciousness. And this is the spiritual need. Then we can guide them accordingly by sharing our realization, taking the references from the Shastras and asking even our senior devotees. So we can recipient, we can care the children, youth, the elderlies, brahmacharis, grahasthas and many others, even though any people we can do the care for. So for example, the children and the youth. So we have to encourage actually the children and youth in our Krishna consciousness movement by giving them the proper training and education so that they can involve in our programs and they can engage themselves in the service of the Lord. So for example, in Vaman Kshetra, we have a Prahlad school for children under 14 years of age, where we can teach them to read shlokas, how to chant, then how to engage in the service of the home deities, some basic scripture studies and Krishna's pastimes in story format. So some of these children are not from actually devotee families, but after joining the school, their parents are also getting more attracted to Krishna consciousness. And some parents actually join our Bhakti Vriksha or even attending our regular programs. Then we have the youth group, which is for the children over 14 years of age. We engage them in a home program, then hall program. So the children come together and help them to set up the altar, set up the mats, microphone, then distribute prasadam. And after program finish, they can pack up everything. And recently, we have engaged them in Zoom introduction seva. for the guest speaker. So by doing these sevas, they actually feel the part of the Krishna conscious family. So now they are also preaching the Krishna consciousness to their friends, distributing Srila Prabhupada books as well. So on Friday, means recently we have celebrated Gita Jayanti, and all of these children taken enthusiastically participation in reciting Bhagavad Gita. So now we can see here the Srila Prabhupada's teaching and example. He was speaking in Los Angeles about the qualities of a devotee. Srila Prabhupada said, the sympathetic. We should be very much sympathetic. If any one of our fellow men falls sick, we must take care of him. We give him help, because after all, we have got this material body. So sometime we may fall sick. So we should be sympathetic. Then Vaishnava Seva. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, would also, when the devotees come to the Puri Yatra, he always look after them for their proper accommodation. He check that the rooms are clean, if they have enough water and prasadam. So that is the devotee care. That is the Vaishnava Seva. And it says Jayapataka Maharaj is saying ISKCON need to be a caring organization that provides a family atmosphere based on love and trust, just as the Srila Prabhupada instructed. So loving relationship. Now Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instructions, he says, offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentiality, accepting prasad, offering prasad, are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee to another. And then we have to listen very attentively. So Srila Prabhupada listen with very interest. Whoever come to Srila Prabhupada is that Swarup Das, Sat Swarup Das is telling that Srila Prabhupada listen with interest, appeared to be pleased when I finished speaking. He then told me that he once worked for Dr. Bose. One of his duties was to handle whatever correspondence come to the company. He said that even if the smallest inquiry arrived, I would answer personally and continue to correspond until they become a customer. So we can learn from Srila Prabhupada's example. So the 6 values which corresponds with the principle mentioned here, the wisdom, the realization, expertise, affection, love, then empathy, gratitude, generosity, and responsibility. So empathy. So Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Atma Upamane Sarvatra Samam Pashyantiyo Arjuna Sukham Va Yadi Va Dukkham Sa Yogi Paramomata. He is the perfect yogi who, by comparison of his own self, sees the true quality of all living beings in both their happiness and their distress. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned, one who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by dint of his own personal experience. Then the responsibility. It says, Yad yad acharati shreshtas tad tad eve taro janaha tad satat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So whatever the action the great man performs, the common man follow. So whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all the words were pursued. So as a devotee, we have to be exemplary, we have to be responsible actually for carrying the neophyte devotees. And the expertise, we should be expertise, that is the Vaishnava quality. There are 26 qualities mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami kind to everyone, does not quarrel with anyone, fix that in absolute truth, equal to everyone, and so on and so forth. And there is a expert is one of the quality. So devotee must be expert in self-realization. He can give knowledge to others. So without the realization, how you can tell to other people? And the gratitude and generosity. Any successful man should feel grateful to the Lord for all he achieved. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that Srila Prabhupada said, you can come any time. I thought that I was Srila Prabhupada translating work was so important that there was no immediate benefit from this old gentleman coming. But Srila Prabhupada was generous with his time. And then, Lord Kapila is telling Mata Devahuti, Prasangam Ajaram Pasham. Prasangam Ajaram Pasham Atmana Kavayo Vidu Saiva Sadhushu Kruto Mokshadvaram Apavrutam. So every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotee, opens the door of liberation. Moksha dvara apavrutam. And and then it's come the Vedic, how your realization comes. In Bhagavatam, in first canto, it says, Srila Sukadeva Goswami, because he was a self-realized, how? It said, Yasvanubhavam akhilam shrutisāramekam adhyatma deepam atitirshatam tamo andham samsarinam karunayah purana guhyam tam vyasa sonumupayami gurum muninam. So let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, whom? Shukadeva Goswami, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasdev, who out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle the cross over the darkest region of material existence, spoke the most confidential and supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience. So he was self-realized, self-experience. The self-realization is important when we are giving, we are caring for others. If you don't have realization, how can you preach or how can you care for someone? So caring for each other with patience, tolerance and humility is the part of what is mean to walk a spiritual path. So we all know that a person cannot be immediately be renounced, and they cannot give up the bad habits straight away, or following 4 regulative principles on the first day. So we have to train them step by step. So we have to nurture them and absorb the quality of Vaishnava etiquettes and manners. So actually we push devotees to get to get the Vaishnava or chant to our 4 regulative principles. But as the time passes, that their enthusiasm dies. Why? Because we don't look after them. Srila Prabhupada says that he would always say that penny wise and pound foolish. So he stressed sustainable farming, wherein we have the sensitive towards the living harmony with Krishna's natural plan. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compared Krishna consciousness to the cultivating the seed of bhakti in the field of the heart of the neophyte devotees. The devotee's heart will sustainable to remain faithful and enthused throughout their life. So that is our long-term, lifelong devotee care. So this all requires training, and we know that how essential is to make them Krishna consciousness. So we all started Krishna conscious journey at the beginning. We shouldn't imbibe the rules and regulations onto the neophyte devotee straight away. we should always remember how we become a devotee and how we have started our journey. So Srila Prabhupada, in one of lecture, he says, in the beginning of life, nobody smokes or nobody becomes intoxicated. It is learned by the bad association. Similarly, it can be given up by the good association. So this is the good point actually. When this, like a neophyte devotee or in general people, they come into the association of the good people, then they also become good. So Lord Kapila also said how it will happen, the importance of the association. Satam prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarna rasayana katha तजोषनादस्पवपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमशति. So satam prasangam mama virya samvedo. So in the association of the pure devotee, they always discuss the pastime and activities of the Supreme Lord, and it is very pleasing and satisfying to the ears and the heart. And by cultivating such knowledge, one gradually become advanced on the path of liberation. Thereafter, he is free and his attraction become fixed, and then the real devotion and the devotional service begin. So that is the important. So we have in devotee care, we have to give the association, we have to give time to these people. So one may think that, well, that really only applies to associating with the pure devotee. So satsanga means the association with the good devotee people. We engaged. Not same, but engage in some portion, some of his, some part of his life in the devotional service. So it says, by associating with devotee, the dirty thing within the heart of a materialistic man is gradually washed away by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like given the example, a silver becomes shiny by being polished. The heart of the materialistic person is cleansed with lusty desire by the good association of devotee. So there are three areas of learning, knowledge, like what and why we have. Then the skills, how to do the things, and values of what is good, what is bad, what is right, and what is wrong. So one acquire knowledge from the teacher in a formal classroom or by studying some textbook. But some, such learning situation basically argument only by rational aspect of the mind. One learns new skill primarily through the application, repetition, and practice. These methods can teach how to effectively perform an action. So Srila Prabhupada gave the very nice example that when a child is asked what he would like to become when he grow, so he said, I want to become a doctor. Why? Because where this idea come from his mind, nobody told him, but because somehow or other the family doctor comes when he comes to the home, how his parents treated them, he behaved them they gave them the respect and honor and everything, and then the child actually look at them and they is observing, watching and observing, they can learn. So this kind of things you can actually do in devotee care thing. So these new people actually observing you, how you are following the etiquettes of Vaishnavism, how you are doing your bhakti, how you are speaking with them, how you are dealing with them, like that. So Sri Sanatan Goswami spent 40 years wandering from village to village in Vrindavan. Like how we can take the example, Sanatan Goswami, how he did the Vaishnava Seva actually, or devotee care. So when he was wandering through the villages, the Vrajavashi would affectionately care for him, treating him as their fathers. So with the passion and concern, he listened to their problems, and sometimes he even advised them how you can solve that, because their problem is all materialistic. So he can also preach them the Krishna consciousness to them by preaching and giving them the practical advice. Even though he was telling, like, your kids are growing now, you can do the marriage and this and that, so not only spiritual and their material life also he was taking care. So it says Raghunath Das Goswami has glorified Sanatan Goswami, or even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, renouncing all worldly pleasures, Sanatan Goswami was very humble, detached, always absorbed in studies. Mahaprabhu often said that Sanatan Goswami was his favorite devotee. As an ocean of love and mercy, Sanatan Goswami excelled all other devotees in his compassion towards the suffering soul. Raghunath Das Goswami has glorified Sanatan Goswami in the follows in his Vikalpa Kusumanjali. Vairagya bhakti rasam prayatne apayam mamanobhish shupam anandham krupad buddhi yapara dukha dukhe sanatanastam prabhum ashrayami. Oh, para dukha dukhi. So I was feeling, Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, I was unwilling to drink the nectar of devotional service, possess of renunciation, but Sanatan Goswami, out of his causeless mercy, made me drink it, even though I was unable to do so. Therefore, he was an ocean of mercy. He is very much compassionate to the fallen soul like me. And thus, it was my duty to offer respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet and take shelter of him. So another devotee care of example is Holiness Bhakti Rasamrut Swami Maharaj. So as you know, all the Maharajas, when they come to Sydney, their schedule is very busy. So when Maharajji came to Sydney last time, he gave time to all Vaman Chitra devotees as a personal home visit. I still remember from the morning, Maharaj was at Vaman Chitra's devotees' home. So he was listening, giving them advice to every family, how they can progress in their Krishna consciousness journey. So by the time he come to my place, it was 12 a.m. at night. So I requested Maharaj that since it was late, he can take rest at the temple, and as he had another busy day the next day. But Maharajji, being so kind and merciful, he came to our house. He spent time with us until all our questions were answered. And not only that, even though when when we leave from here, actually it was late, and we know after 11:30 or 11 o'clock they close the temple door, the front door. So I requested Ghanshyam Prabhuji that okay, I think we will reach there by say maybe 2 o'clock. So is it possible for you to open? But Ghanshyam Prabhuji was so kind that he said, "Oh Prabhu, no problem. You come, I will be there." And literally he was waiting for us. So that is the one example of devotee care. So what is that? Like, it shows that we have to care for them with our heart, and we have to give time to them, and they will open their heart. And Vaman Kshetra, we organize our monthly hall programs as an outreach program for the local community. They can come to hear, chant and take prasadam. So actually, when they come to enter the hall, we welcome them and we warmly greet them with a Vaishnava tilak. And then we engage them in chanting, dancing and feasting. And they lovingly actually, do the sevas of distributing prasadam, packing up the hall, folding the mats and everything. Why? Because they feel we take care of them, we give them time, we speak with them, and the relation actually building over the years, and they feel like a part of the Vaman Chitra family. And even though every year we organize Damodar month home programs at the Neophyte devotees place to preach them about the importance of Krishna consciousness. And and after that, even though we individually spend time with them, listen to them, share our realization or experiences with them, some of them get actually interested and listen to Bhagavad Gita. So they join our Bhakti Vriksha classes. Even they join our regular programs. So we know that Lord Krishna, he takes the care of his devotee and with his compassion. So I'll take the example of Krishna looking after the cowherd boys, cows, Vrajavasis, even the Pandavas, during their exile, Draupadi during Vastraharan, Akshay Patra story we know. Then Gajendra is a good example, Prahlad Maharaj, many more examples from Srimad Bhagavatam, where the Lord is actually taking the care of his devotees. So even though the Bhagavad Gita, we can see the example of Lord Krishna and Arjuna, how Krishna patiently consoled Arjuna during the battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna removed all his doubts and Arjuna's mind when his vision was clear. And Srila Prabhupada, one of his letter, he mentioned Krishna. Actually, this message is all of us, for all of us. The Lord Srila Prabhupada saying, Krishna has sent you some new devotee. Now keep them and train them. They should not feel inconvenience. As a matter of etiquette, you should tell them that if they feel any inconvenience, they should inform you and you can fix their situation. Take care of all these good souls that Krishna is sending you. By your own exemplary behavior. This is important. Srila Prabhupada is saying here, by your own exemplary behavior. That is very important. Train them as an idol Vaishnava. This will be greatly please me. So this is the importance of, Srila Prabhupada is telling for all of us. So here, so devotee care should be prominent and greatly focused on, because it should be comfortable, safe and unjudgmental environment. A place where the devotee will feel everyone that we are their well-wisher. Everyone cares about each other and magnifies their positive aspects. So just as a one big Krishna conscious family, we need to support and encourage everyone in the path of their loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By this way, not only the neophyte devotees, but also the current devotee of the Lord will be peaceful, stable, committed to the movement, and as it will be provide them with love, compassion and happiness, and is constantly searching for this material world of misery. And hence everyone will be focused on bhakti and be enthusiastic to take up the sevas to please the Lord and Shri Radha Gopinath and Srila Prabhupada. And they all will share their realization support to other devotees, so that we all, the current devotees, the neophyte devotees and also the future generation of devotees can grow together, as we will have a solid platform from our values look up to. So also it is a very, by the guidance of and blessings of our spiritual masters, acharyas and devotee, that we can take the progress in bhakti to Lord Krishna and we can go back home to Godhead. So thank you very much for allowing me to share my realization to speak on the topic of devotee care. So I again kindly request everyone that please pray for His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj's fast recovery. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki Jai. शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन सिडनी यात्रा की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल।